chameleon is a reptile that has been classed as a type of a lizard, which is known for its stereoscopic eyes. And what makes it unique among all the different species is its ability to camouflage itself when it feels threatened, where it can instantly change colour and adapt to its surroundings in order to avoid all levels of detection. The papacy is a chameleon-like system. It can camouflage itself very skillfully using its missionary adaptation technique in order to throw off the scent for those who detect her global ambitions and her future plans. She can climatize herself to the popular trends of the day, and one of the most popular attractions is sport. Football, also known as soccer, is the most watched sport and the most popular game in the world. It can be traced to 32nd century BC China, to a game called Suju or Kuju. It was revived in England with the founding of the Football Association in 1863, where it became a recreation for workers who were attracted to the city during the Industrial Revolution. It is a religion and a badge of identity to many of its fans, and the Vatican has taken advantage of its global mass appeal. Brazil has produced some of the most entertaining players, and its famous stars like Ronaldo. When he was in his prime as a youngster, he visited the late Pope John Paul II during a private audience in the Vatican, presenting the Pope with both his Inter Milan and Brazilian shirt, giving the Pope a youthful appeal. Edson Arantes do Nascimento, better known as Pelé, has been regarded as the greatest footballer of all time, who still is the most successful league scorer in the world. He kissed Pope Benedict XVI's hand on August 20, 2005 in Cologne, Germany, and was granted a papal blessing by the pontiff. The same Pope also met the Italian team Inter Milan during a weekly audience at the Vatican on May 7, 2008. Joseph Sepp Blatter is a Swiss football administrator who serves as the 8th and current president of FIFA, the Federation International of Football Association, which is responsible for organizing all of football's major international tournaments. He met Pope Francis I in the Vatican on Friday, November 22, 2013, in a private audience, and presented him with a football jersey with the Pope's personal name inscribed on the back, where they discussed the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, for the Pope is known as a keen football fan. Carlos Tevez is an Argentine footballer who currently plays for the Italian club Juventus and previously played for the English teams West Ham United, Manchester City and Manchester United. On the 12th of November 2013, Tevez and his family met the Pope in the Vatican in a private audience and presented the Pope with a football jersey with his name on it. They are both from Buenos Aires in Argentina. Italian goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon also plays for the Italian club Juventus and is considered to be one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. And Lionel Messi is an Argentine footballer who plays for the Argentine national team as well as the Spanish team Barcelona. Mario Balotelli is the Italian footballer famous for sporting the Mohawk, who plays for the Italian national team as well as a striker for Italian team AC Milan. During a friendly match between Argentina and Italy, its players like Mario Balotelli, Lionel Messi, and Gianluigi Buffon had, on the 13th of August 2013, received a papal blessing from the Pope in the Vatican, where the players all enjoyed a photo op with the Pope. The last player is Argentine footballer Javier Aldemar Zanetti, who plays for Italian football club Inter Milan and is considered as the world's best player. He also met Pope Francis I, a fellow Argentinian, in an hour-long private audience at the Vatican on Thursday, April 25, 2013. while all of these players do come from predominantly Roman Catholic countries, if you are rubbing shoulders with some of the most popular sportsmen on the planet, then you will definitely win over people's sympathy, and you will definitely break down people's hostility towards you, as sport is the most powerful inroad into the hearts of a postmodern world.
El Señor hoy los llama, a vos, a vos, a vos, a vos, a cada uno. Nos pide que seamos sus discípulos, que juguemos en su equipo. Nunca estamos solos, en las buenas y en las malas. Sé que ustedes apuntan a lo alto. No les tengas miedo. Los cariocas saben recibir bien. Esos cristianos son pura facha. Pensé en 3 imágenes. 3. Ustedes son los que tienen el futuro. Quiero que se salga afuera. Cuiden los extremos. Que acá adentro va a haber lío, va a haber. Que acá en el río va a haber lío, va a haber. Pero lío. Sean protagonistas. Jueguen para adelante. Pateen adelante. El Papa está con vosotros.
Brazil is a multicultural society that has the largest Roman Catholic population on earth, and it is known for its favelas, carnival, and football. It is not only hosting the 2014 World Cup, but it is also hosting the 2016 Olympics that will draw crowds from all over the world. When Pope Francis I went to Brazil in July 2013 to counteract the growth of evangelicals in Latin America, he blessed both the Olympic and Paralympic flag with so-called holy water, and in the Vatican he met Thomas Bach, the current president of the Olympic Committee, in November 2013, where the Pope was given the Olympic Order in gold as a gift. This is the level of clout and respectability the Vatican has in the field of sport. But it is not just in sport where her respectability and her influence is felt.
I was watching TV the other day, and this show comes on with these religious fanatics, and they were crazy. Well, you would think they were crazy if you didn't understand their culture and their religion. See, that's just the thing. See, they were worshipers of idols. And they took things to extremes. They painted their bodies, they wore these ridiculous costumes, chanted, danced. They even made sacrifices to the idols. But they had built these enormous temples to worship their idols in. It seems like their entire existence climaxed into this one scenario, this one over-the-top act of worship. You don't really relate, do you? Let's try it again. I was watching TV the other day, and this show comes on with these religious fanatics, and they were crazy. Well, you would think they were crazy if you didn't understand their culture and their religion. See, that's just the thing. See, they were worshipers of idols. And they took things to extremes. They painted their bodies, they wore these ridiculous costumes, they chanted, they danced. They even made sacrifices to the idols. But they had built these enormous temples to worship their idols in. It seems like their entire existence climaxed into this one scenario, this one over-the-top act of worship.
For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God?
Patterson back with the kick. In each quarter, preachers will be given a random phrase that they must effectively work into their message.
And my understanding is these are completely random. They have never seen them before, seriously.
Well, hey, folks, it's time to meet our players. Let's head down to the field for today's starting lineups. The myth, the legend, Brian Cole. Call it when it lands. Call it in the air. Tails! What I be kicking? Yeah, let's just go with tails. Would you like to kick or receive the Bible? I will receive. Tom wins the toss, chooses to receive the Bible. Tom wins the toss, chooses to receive the Bible. Patterson back with the kick.
Oh my goodness! Is that a touchback? Can you even get a touchback?
First time in 18 years there's a touchback for the kickoff.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. Lisa came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
You know, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil. Well, needless to say, sold my soul.
Sometimes they don't want to, and they're, you know, Gaga, we can't get, you know, the frequency's weird, and, you know, it's sounding a little bit strange, and I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna, you know, I get a little bit mad.
Why is your hand over your eyes?
Because I'm a devil worshiper. What are you talking about? All right, well, I have tickets to see the devil worshiper.
The whole idea of celebrity and fame has become really convoluted and, you know, kind of bastardized, like whereas fame used to be the byproduct of success, and now it's the ultimate goal. And if your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like you're gonna end up on a one-way street and it's going nowhere. Like that's just the truth. I've seen so many people like forsake their moral code and their value systems just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I mean, I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And on this earth, and then in a world we can't see.
So Taylor Swift is finally showing you guys who she truly is, and you're still not paying attention, huh? She literally called herself a witch in this tweet. Billboard chart says this is a song for all the lonely witches. Y'all think they're just putting on an artistic act? This woman was on tour going state to state, doing live rituals on stage. And nobody's paying attention to it, huh? You're that brainwashed.
Pitchforks and proof, their receipts and reasons. They're burning all the wishes, even if you aren't one. And light
me. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a serpent behind her. Y'all waking up yet? Last week's sweetheart has turned to this week's witch. In that video, she was acting like she was in hell. So yeah, last week's sweetheart has turned to this week's witch in hell. But are you catching on yet? So a witch in front of a serpent. Let's go deeper, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't it interesting that Taylor Swift looks exactly like Zena LaVey? Who is Zena LaVey, you might ask? She's Anton LaVey's daughter. Anton LaVey was the founder of the Satanic Church. and his daughter Zena LaVey was a high priestess for Satan. Safe to say she was a witch. Oh, how the resemblance is remarkable. So America's Sweetheart blew up being America's Sweetheart, but now she's trying to make it cool to be a witch. Why is that? Well, I said it before, you do not get this big without certain contracts being signed. They got her right where they wanted her just so they can turn her around so she can manipulate the youth. The kids love Taylor Swift. But instead of being a great role model that she built her fan base off of, now she wants to be a witch. Y'all see the switch? And this isn't something new. Billie Eilish with children. Building a fan base with children. Then all of a sudden she made a song called All the Good Girls Go to Hell. Now this is your Billie. Now this is your Billie. And all the brainwashed would call it artistic. Lil Nas X built a fan base off of children. They blew this man up out of nowhere. Then what happened? Out of nowhere, he switched. Next thing we know, he's sliding from heaven into hell. Even gave him his own satanic shoe. They had 666 on him. Also Luke 10:18, the verse in the Bible where Satan fell like lightning. So do you guys see the comparison? Do you guys see the pattern? Do you guys see who they're after? They're after the youth. Because if they can control the youth, they can control the future. Y'all might have thought she was America's Sweetheart, but my Bible says even Satan himself masquerades like an angel of light. Stop listening to these artists and stop letting your children listen to these artists. Little do you know, you are allowing demonic spirits to come into your household. Because when you play that nonsense, you are coming into agreement with that nonsense. Your eyes and your ears are portals. What you let into them is what you're coming into agreement with. 2024, let's be smarter. Let's be more wise. If it's not glorifying God, cut it off. God bless you.
This ex-witch talks about how Hollywood uses witchcraft in their films.
You know, they recreated that movie, The Craft, in 2020. Really? They recreated the movie and they invited real witches on the set, and they had the witches before they would do a scene to cast spells and to invite the actresses to come into this circle with them while they were releasing spell words over the viewers and over the scene. And they broadcast it and wrote articles like, isn't this amazing? We're getting real and raw with these real witches. And people are playing it in their home, and it's entertainment. And, you know, Charlene, I always say the first part of entertainment is enter. So be careful what's entering your home.
I've been in rooms at the top of the top, which albums are prayed over demonically. Music is prayed over demonically. That goes out to the world, goes out to the radio stations, goes out to the public. And when you see that stuff and know that stuff, it's frightening. Hollywood is doing a great job of it too, because that's what it's there to do, is to make you think it's all nonsense, of course. And if you think it's all nonsense, then the devil's laughing, and it's very real.
What do you mean by that, Shane, prayed over demonically?
So rituals, ceremonies, everything to bring, to give light to the devil, to Satan. It's a satanic music industry. That's majority of what it is.
Do you mean figuratively, or do you mean literally you've been in...
Literally, yes. For all your Sam Smiths, to your Dojo Cats, to your Beyoncés, they are so demonic, it's unbelievable. And we can't, it's in front of us. It's something that we kind of go, oh, it's just music. But it really isn't.
I can't watch modern day movies. I can't do it because they're not about entertainment anymore. It's straight psyops. I did some time in a psychological operations unit. I understand what goes into these things. Movies nowadays are not entertainment. It is pure propaganda, and it is pushing very clear agendas which are predominantly anti-masculine, anti-family, anti-traditional values, anti-faith, pro-deviancy, pro-sexual agendas being pushed on kids. Movies nowadays are straight propaganda. They're not in my house for that reason. It's so blatant.
So many people think what they watch is harmless, but they don't realize the psychological
psychological message that's woven into it, making harmful things seem normal while quietly pushing hidden agendas. Now think about the impact this is having on the younger generation. It's shaping their values, perceptions, and even their identity without them even realizing it. We need to be more intentional about what we allow into our minds and the minds of our children.
In May 2012, over 19 countries led by the United States, excluding Israel, were partaking in a training exercise which is really a precursor to war. But Iran will not be going down that easily, for as she has seen what has happened to other Muslim countries by the West in the 21st century, she will do everything in her power to put up a fight. And that is why the United States is using her propaganda machine, is out in force with films like 300 and the CIA manufactured Argo, which won an Oscar and 3 BAFTAs and is directed by Hollywood actor Ben Affleck, which the Iranian Minister of Culture and Islamic Guidance Mohammad Hosseini slammed as pro-CIA and anti-Iranian propaganda. The video game industry, which is an extended arm of the United States propaganda, is also using its latest digitally enhanced shoot-'em-up recruiting tools, such as Battlefield 3, which shows United States soldiers under a sign of Tehran, the capital of Iran, which clearly shows what they are planning to do in the not-too-distant future. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Blacklist, which depicts terror cells on the Iraqi-Iranian border. Another psychological operating tool for this up-and-coming conflict. Let us hope and pray that this war does not kick off, for whether or not you are into prophecy or current affairs, we are all going to be affected by this war.